experience. So I really enjoyed it.
That's amazing. Do you feel like there were like clients in the room that you were speaking to?
I think so. I mean, most of them were like talking about how hard social media was and like they wanted to be consistent because they felt like their ideal clients were on social media, but they just didn't know like how to go about it. And so like most of them signed up for an Instagram audit. So I'm going to do that this week. And then just kind of like share some more social media, like, or share my social media services in case they are interested. So that's like one of the questions that I wanted to talk about later
Yeah.
today, like just how to go about that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like there were probably some potential clients, which was awesome.
So fun. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to share a win? Something good that happening? Something you're excited about this week?
I have kind of a win.
Yeah.
I did get ManyChat set up, but I clearly didn't do it right because it's not working. So, um, I'm getting people to comment, but which is good. So I'll just respond to them and then figure it out. But, one step forward and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that is a good
Yeah.
win. I feel like there's a lot and when Katie's back, I'm sure she could help you, but there's a lot of cool things you can do with ManyChat, specifically with the follow-up. Like it's one thing to like give the answer, but then to like follow up a day later or 2 days later, like if you're sharing a recipe or something like how'd the recipe go? Because that's when they don't expect it and it doesn't, it's like the conversation is good. So
Yeah. I mean, the cool thing is I've got like several people that have commented, so I can get them the info. And yeah, I was thinking I can follow up and at least see where it goes. So it's a
yeah.
step in the right direction. And Katie's Loom video was very helpful in getting it
Oh,
started. So I'm
good.
sure I just missed a step. So we'll get it figured out.
Very good. All right, give me one more. One more win. It could be fun,
I'm just so
personal.
tired and I'm just so happy it's Monday because I have childcare.
That's a
So
good
that's all,
win.
that's my win right now.
Yeah. I woke up this morning and the girls are like, "Mom, we don't have school on Friday." And I was like, "What?" I mean, I knew, but I forgot. I was like, "Okay, that's great. Great. I'm so excited for you." Okay, so my plan this morning was I sort of made a list of frequently asked questions. So I wanted to make sure we got through those. And then we've gotten a lot of updates about content planning. And so, ironically, this weekend was the weekend that I was going to do a lot of content planning because we didn't have power. I didn't get as far as I wanted, but I was going to show you sort of like how I do it. And then we can ask questions. I don't have these like fancy templates, but I do have one that I put in Slack and I will show you. But if you want to pull up in Slack, there's a link. If you pull up that link, it says like the content hub, and in there is like a Google Doc. That's the one that I'm going to show you. We do have power, thankfully. Um, but yeah, it was just, I don't know. I'm like between COVID and no power, I'm just like, okay. Like, and we were launching, I'm going to give you guys a full update, but I haven't done like a full lessons learned yet. So I want to like gather my thoughts a minute. Um, I wrote an email for Friday and I gave the launch a 6 out of 10. Like it wasn't our best launch. It wasn't like an awful launch. We ended up having 7 new students, which our average is like 10 to 12. So it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't awful. It was just like very, like there wasn't one thing that like clicked. It would be like we would get one student here, and then like another day we'd get another student. Two of the students were randomly people I interviewed that were on my podcast that joined. Like they weren't even on our list. So I was like, okay. Um, so it was just interesting.
Holly,
But I am
how
gonna
how
do
many
the
times a year do you launch that program?
um some years we've launched it 3 times. Last year we did twice. This is like our 10th launch. So I feel like um I learned a lot, mainly because this is we've been a 1 year of having like the evergreen program. So that means like anyone can join at any time. So I don't have to teach it live. So it's really even though we didn't have as many students, it's nice because I don't have to do anything once they join. Like it's already, flowing. So that part is nice. But we are going to make some changes again. And I feel like when you get out of a launch and you're like, I have all these ideas, and then I need to like give myself a minute to just like process it. So that's coming. Let me just show you guys the link. I had it pulled up and then okay, here we go. So I put this in Slack. If I just went to search, can you guys see my screen now? Yes, thank you, Chris. But you want to go to the monthly content planning hub, and then there's a template there. It's not fancy. I'm going to show you the template, but if you want to follow along, that's how I do it. So we've been talking a lot about where to start with content planning. And so where I start is actually twofold. Now I lost your faces. I like to see you guys when I'm talking, and I don't know where you went. Where are you? Can you guys see me still? Yes?
Yes, we can
Yeah.
see you.
I don't know where you are. Oh, wait, there you are. Oh my gosh. Okay. Can you see my calendar? Yes? Okay.
Yep.
So I start with two things. This is my calendar for March. It is our podcast calendar, but our podcast, can you not see my face? What is happening? Start video. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Now I
sorry.
can.
Yep.
Now it's showing your
Wow.
face.
Okay. So this is my like, what topics are we going to cover kind of thing. So if you wanted to start with blogs, I would have a calendar. I just like to see the dates, basically, is what I like to do. So I use ClickUp. This is our calendar. I like to see it by month. There are two things that I start to plan. What are topics? This was for March. So our topics were all around basically antisocial school. So you can see these like for non-social media. I think this was partnerships. This one's like using AI. You go back into February, it's like organic storytelling. So all the topics were all about the thing that we wanted people to do. And then these little gray things they're called pre-rolls, but they're basically like what we're advertising. So every topic has something that I'm like pushing towards. So it might be I'm pushing towards a freebie. This is a freebie right here, this product suite podcast bundle. It might be the actual product. So that was last week. It might be the challenge. So every topic has a call to action that is associated with it. So if you're doing a blog, you still want to push people somewhere, like whether it's a freebie, a product, a recipe download, a get on my email list, like whatever it is. So that's kind of where I start. I say it's twofold because I toggle back and forth between like the actual calendar of like, okay, what dates and what topic are we talking about? And this, nope, not it. Hold on. I swear I had it pulled up. This content planning hub. So this is in ClickUp. It's a Google Doc. It has everything that we do related to content. So it has like photos. It has like, this is all mostly photos. It has our Lucid chart with our content repurposing plan. Remember we talked about that last week or the week before, like where things go. It has pain points. It has our brand book that we've created that I will load into ChatGPT. So this doesn't change. It just sits there. So like people have it. But then what I do, and I just did this for April, is I think about, okay, well, what are my goals for April? April's kind of a weird month for us because we're traveling a lot and we just finished a launch. So I'm not like pushing anything super hard. So I said my goals, and this is the document that's in Slack that I just shared with you. My goals are, and it's not fancy, but it takes me maybe 20 minutes to fill this out. And then I feel like I have a solid idea. So my goals are we're going to give the list a break while fixing some things behind the scenes. We're going to do a lot of like one-on-one follow-up. I have a ton of partnerships lined up. We are launching a new lead magnet, which I have not launched one in like 3 years. So that's exciting. And I've decided I want to completely redo our anti-social school sales page, which I'll save for another update. But those are like things that I want to work on. So it's not like a big external month, it's more sort of internal. And then I write out key dates. So we're just doing behind the scenes sales. There's no like push or anything because we just finished that. I'm going on vacation. We have Allison Hardy doing a webinar for our community, and I have the Podcasting Moms conference. So those are just like key dates that I know that like sometimes they're content related and sometimes they're personal, but these are things that I like need to work around. We do have a separate calendar for things we're promoting on the podcast, which is kind of a one-off thing. And then I just have like an ongoing list. So when you're like, Holly, I have so many things to work on, same. I have the same list. Like half these things I never get to. Um, but it makes me feel better to just like write them out. So when I sit down and say, okay, it's mid-March, April is coming. What is my goal for April? And your goal can be anything, right? It could be I want to have 2 new clients. I want to finish my website, like whatever it is. And then I go back to my content calendar, not that, this, and I think about the topics. And this is where you can use like ChatGPT and Claude and all of that to like figure out what the topics of your content should be. Um, so I'm gonna pause for a minute and then I'll share a couple other things.
Does the template for the master like resources and high level planning hub, is that also in here?
This template? Oh, no, I just wrote
Okay.
that.
Because
Like,
I love that stuff. You know me,
yeah,
I
yeah,
like
I can make a
organization. So
template.
I'm just curious. Yeah. So you
Yeah,
just
I
this just
totally
has all
can.
the links to like your assets essentially.
Yep, exactly. So like if somebody new, like Kylie is on our team, but she's only on our team for 3 months. So I can just very easily add her to this and I can be like, okay, here's our brand book, here's all our photos. Um, we have a lot of photos. Here's our content repurposing plan. Here's some high level. Now, most things are in our brand book now. So it's a little more robust, but yeah, I can totally give you guys a template for that. But it's kind of just like a hub. And I mean, you could put all kinds of things. Like things I should have in here are like our logos and our colors. Right now, that's sitting in our brand book. Um, but when it comes to actually like figuring out what do I actually want to share, it's a mix between, okay, what's actually happening like in our life? What's like my goal for the month? And then what topics align with what's going on.
And then for your
Um,
podcast, you basically have a pre-roll, which is like your advertising or mid-roll. And you do that, you do change the call to action every week. Is that correct?
so I used to do it every month, and then based on some research, we're testing out every week or every other week just to see will people listen to it more. Um, I don't really listen to the beginning of podcast. Like I'll fast forward through it. So I don't know if people will listen, but if it sounds like the beginning of the podcast and it's changing all the time, then the theory is that people will listen to it. Um, but if like blogging is your main um like way to start or email, then I would have a calendar and I would say like, okay, whatever day is your content creation day, like what topic are we talking about today? And then the last thing that I do is if you scroll down here, there's a little document that says emails, and I'll get into that. Um, but I also try to do one partnership a month. I don't know what is going on, but like every person I know is hosting like a summit or bundle in April or May. So I have a lot, which is not normal. I normally have one, but I was like, well, I'll just say yes, it's fine. Um, I also knew that I didn't have a lot of content to share, so it helps to share others. So I usually make a list of like what are some of the partnerships, and just helps me keep track of it. Like I could not say yes to anything else in April, and honestly, May is probably full at this point. Um, so then I go into emails, which I'll do these. This was our email document, which I've showed you guys before for March, but I wrote these yesterday because we were behind. So like this is my email for Friday. So it goes to everyone except certain people. It's a newsletter template, and then I will write my email. So it's like all written. And then Caitlin puts it into Kit for me. So I'll write it and she'll put it into Kit. And then I know, like on the 22nd, because my calendar says bundle, I knew that I had to fit in a bundle email. So I went ahead and wrote that so that can get scheduled. And it just like keeps going and going and going. Now I try because I want to be respectful of Caitlin and Katie's time to be like 2 weeks ahead, but because we're traveling, I was trying to like get into like mid-April. So I did use, well, this is another topic. I did use Claude for the first time this weekend to write emails, which I liked, and I'll share what I did, but it still takes time. Like it still took me probably 3 hours to look at my dates, figure out my topics, and then yesterday was a writing day. Like I just tried to write as much as I can. Um, and it's pretty specific, right? Like it's pretty specific to our calendar. Where did the calendar go?
Okay,
Calendar.
can I ask one more question? So I see you
Yeah,
have
keep
like
asking.
Instagram templates. How many templates do you tend to have if like for Instagram, and how does that play into this? Like, do you have templates for all your podcasts? Do you have templates?
I
Like, how
do.
does
I
that
think
work?
we have three that we've been using right now. So I have them saved in Canva. This was a new one. I shouldn't have created a new one. I was so tired last week from being sick. That was actually stupid, but that's a new one. So we have a quote template. This is our podcast template. It's the same one every time. Um, and then these two templates, I just like sort of reuse. So I think we have three. They're almost all carousel templates. Um, and I just go back in. I actually like that the podcast ones are the same every time because I think people like recognize it. So if you like went to this page, like it's just repeated. Um, Over and over again. So, I mean, sometimes I use the templates and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I post and sometimes I don't. But you can see that my strategy has no social media creation in it at all. If I have time, I'll post a carousel post about it. But what's most important to me is the partnerships, is the website updated? I did like a video for the team and then like what the content actually is. Other questions. I usually go through this every quarter or so. So some of the alumni have probably seen this before. Um, but it's a really simple process, but it still takes a minute, but I feel like it's very dialed into like what we're trying to share and why. And then I just do it every single month. I try to do it the middle of the month before the next month. So like this week is the goal is to have it by next, for April. Um, what else? Other content planning questions. Is this helpful for you guys? Maybe, maybe not. I will say I think a lot of you attended Gemma's webinar on Claude, which was very good. Um, and I was like, oh my God, I need to move everything over to Claude. I have to change everything. But no, we're not, I didn't. So the way that I have ChatGPT set up is I have a couple of custom bots that will help me write my newsletters. So those are all in ChatGPT now. I did move two over to Claude. The goal is that eventually I will move them all over. I'm still new to this, but I created some projects. So I have an email writer that I created. So basically what I did was like uploaded, this is a project, not a skill. So a skill is like a bot. I uploaded emails that sound like me. So when it came to like, see, you can see my brand guide. When it came to writing some of those Summit and Bundle emails, it could pull from my brand book and then it sounded like me instead of somebody else. So I did do that yesterday. And then I have a podcast project, which there's some PDFs in there of like sample emails, and it helps me write the podcast emails. So you can see we were sort of working through that yesterday. So I'm kind of using both right now. I will say Claude feels a little more robust to me from a writing perspective. Um, Brainstorming, a lot of my stuff is still in ChatGPT, so it's a slow process. I'm trying not to do it all at once, but yeah, I really don't want to pay for both is the thing, but I am right now because I'm trying to figure out what I like the best. Um, so yeah, that's content planning in like a nutshell. So what else? Any other questions come up? Let me see. Bethany, random question about emails. It looks like we have Madeline, CMO. So you only get the scorecard once a quarter, but you get her on a call every single month. And we're going to talk about filming video on Thursday that you can use for your website, for blogs, for B-roll, and how to do it yourself. So that should be exciting.
I have a question about so when you take your long form content, which is usually the blog, the transcript from your blog. I mean, not your blog,
Yep.
from your podcast.
Yep.
Then do you break that into one blog post and then multiple social media? And do you use AI for that, or are you doing that yourself? And then
No, I use AI. So in ChatGPT, I actually have a bot that I created. And it like if I uploaded the transcript, it would create 7 different pieces of content. So it would create like a LinkedIn post, it would create the blog, it would create. So my dream is that I can move this over to Claude and I can like schedule it in using Claude Code. I don't know how to do that yet. And it would like show up in my inbox on like Friday afternoon of like, here's all your content for the podcast. We're not there yet, but that's like ideally it would be like it would go into ClickUp and it would tag Caitlin and it would be like, here's all your content because she's the one that schedules it. So no, so if you're using Claude, it would be a skill. If you're using ChatGPT, it would be the GPT, but I definitely have help. And I think the more specific help you can give it, like here's 3 blog posts that I like. Here's an email sequence that works for me, like, and here's my brand book, like the better it will represent you.
So do you go back and forth with this a lot, or do you just put it in and it spits out exactly?
So like the newsletter, you can see like I went back and forth quite a bit because it was like I was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted. But it is a skill or GPT, so I basically tell it like what I'm doing and then I like go back and forth. So a few times, but not like once it gets going, not a ton. Really
Okay.
not. I mean, for captions and stuff, just because I don't want to say I don't care as much, but like I really don't care as much about an Instagram caption as I do an email. It's usually fine. I won't have any updates.
So what all did you put
I don't know
in?
if it's helpful, but I was just gonna let y'all know I have a whole document of what I call anti-AI framing. Like I can tell when I read something if it's written by AI. So I have a whole document that says, don't say these things. This is what you're not supposed to do. This is what sounds like AI. So I always run that also in it. I find it helps.
Oh yeah, that's super helpful. Some of that's in my brand book, like don't use dashes, don't use um a massive amount of emojis. Like the
And I just made a
spacing
whole
is,
skill. I call it like an anti-AI skill. So everything at the very, very end, I just say, please run the anti-AI skill.
oh, I love that. That's a great idea. Yeah, I also just had to give myself some time as it relates to Claude to just like play around with it for a minute. Like I just sort of released the pressure of like it all has to be built today. And it's just like, okay, this is enough for right now. Because this is what's most important to me, right? It's like, do we have content that is aligned, that's leading to a call to action that we want to, that we like start to see um, data from? What else? Other questions? Do you guys sit down and plan your content now like this? Madeline, I think you do. Any other things that you do that is helpful?
Yeah, I mean, I do pretty much the same thing. Like I have a document where I talk about like, what's coming up for the month like and I got that from you, Holly. So that's been super helpful. And then like I'll plan it out on a calendar. I usually do my email first and then like kind of have a rough idea for the following month and then from social media or on my social media calendar, like I'll literally say like repurpose, March 15th email or like do a monthly recap. So, I mean, it's very similar. It's really helpful to have it all like at a bird's eye view. So yeah, I mean, I do pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, we also have Clara. Where did she go? Content coach. She will help you create, like if you want to put your information in there, she'll help you. But I think the thing for me that I think was the biggest takeaway is there's so many like spreadsheets and things that just feel overwhelming. And I was like, okay, I just need to write down like what are the key dates and like what is my goal? Like that really is what matters. And then how do we like bring it together? Like it's only 4 weeks. It's not like this crazy amount of time. Um, so it's just a lot helpful. And this will not take you long to fill out. Like I think this took me 10 minutes yesterday to fill out. Now figuring out what topics might take you a little bit longer. But you could take this information and dump it into Clara and say, help me. And tell her, like, I want to I want to do 2 blog posts, 1 LinkedIn post, and XYZ. And she'll help you come up with a plan too. Um, Anything else? Kim, you plan your content a little bit. Anything that's helped you?
Yeah, I was just gonna type that in the chat. I've started, and mostly it's because I have a VA helping me do some things, so it's kind of forced me. So mine is like the redheaded stepchild version of what Holly's looks like. It's not as good yet, but it's getting there. Um, and I think one of the things that helped, I think we did it in December, Holly. We kind of just looked like mapped out the whole year a little bit, like what weeks can't I do things? Or and then that helped me then
Mhm.
just kind of put themes to different months. So like I know, we're doing farmers markets April through September. I know when I'll want to talk about grilling. I know like so just things like that. And when we so I that has helped a ton. And then just to break it down, like, okay, by the month, by the week, that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
sometimes it goes really well and sometimes it all falls apart, but it's better than it was.
I mean, even with AI, like if you're writing emails for 2 to 3 weeks, it takes a minute. Like it's not like this, it doesn't do it all yourself, but I was just going to show you that. So I made this skill. I had it in ChatGPT and I moved it over, but it's basically like it prompts me to say like what happened to you this week, what happened business wide, what's the goal of the newsletter, what are your links for quick picks. So it's basically like the format of my newsletter. I give it all the information and then it spits it out in a way that like Caitlin can uh, sort of go through. I did add this yesterday to take the newsletter and put it into a carousel post. Um, I haven't done it yet, but I was like, well, at least I have it. Like it's there if I want to use it, kind of thing. So,
I definitely
um,
highly recommend pulling that into like a separate skill so that you don't they don't all come together. You know what I mean?
the carousel post.
Yeah.
Oh, like only do one at one time.
It just makes it better. Just if you
Yeah.
separate the things out. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was playing around with yesterday. But that's as far as I got. So, but I wrote a lot of emails. I mean, I probably wrote, I don't know, 10 emails in a couple hours. So I feel like we're, at least on the right page. Um, anything else I can share about content planning? I would say the main things that Caitlin does is, I mean, it's me that's like writing the emails. We did have a copywriter for a really long time and she's not doing it anymore, so I like took it back over. Um, I have mixed feelings about it because we send a lot of emails and it takes a lot of time, but I do feel like I think there are still more things I can do with AI that can help me, but we're not 100% there yet. But I'm the one that's like writing all of this and planning all of this. And then I'm the one that's putting everything into the Google Doc. And then Caitlin is scheduling it in Kit. So that saves me time. Um, and then she's also scheduling like the output of the podcast. So that saves me time too. Okay. Does everyone feel inspired to go plan content this week? Does everyone know what their content goals are, like in terms of what your starting point is? I feel like we've talked about it in all of our one-on-ones. In terms of like blog, email, everyone has a starting point. Does everyone know what their like hot topics are?
I have questions if you don't
Yeah.
mind.
No,
Sorry,
go
welcome
for
to my
it.
messy basement. I was on the treadmill. But like I feel like I'm kind of stuck on the content creation thing because I don't know for sure like where that kind of end goal is. And
Yeah.
up until just recently, I was like at capacity. So if I put all this time and energy into content creation, then I just have people reaching out and then I have to like deal with them basically. It sounds
Yeah.
terrible with clients, right? But like takes like time and energy and I don't know, I feel like OTs take it personally if you like are marketing but then you like don't have space for them. It's like
Did you have a
personal
wait
rejection.
list?
Not really.
No, could you have one?
Oh, could I have one?
Yeah.
I guess, like, because now there's a little bit of space opening up for summer, but like in general I just didn't have anything for like the foreseeable future, so I wasn't
Yeah.
even sure like what my goal was or what I would even like, what I
I
would
mean, it's a good
push
problem
out
to
into
have,
content.
so I would celebrate that.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think you could do a wait list, or you could use it as market research. So, because I know one of your goals is to have something that's more like not you doing all the work. So you
Yeah.
could start to do it as like sharing behind the scenes, like, hey, I don't know what this looks like. Like if you had a newsletter as an example, like, our client roster is full through June. If you want to work with me, like get on the wait list. But also there's some new things in the works. And so I'm going to be sharing behind the scenes of like what that looks like. And you could focus your emails on things like that, like just to gather research or like figure out who's on your list. We did a poll, yes, last night, like after our launch to see who was on our list, and it was really interesting. One, I labeled it wrong, so I did like A, B, D, E. I don't know if you guys, I don't think you shouldn't have gotten it, but if you did, I like missed a letter. And like most people responded to me like, "Oh, you missed a letter." And I was like, "Really?" Like, so it's just interesting to see like what people want. And most people put that they wanted like help to scale without social media, but yet didn't, do anything with the course. So that would be interesting, like to just do market research and share behind the scenes in the short term. That's also like when you think about pre-launching, like when you do have something, you kind of have to like warm up to it. So if you did market research and then there was like a topic or two that like stood out, then you could start talking about that so that it would like prepare them for when you were ready to launch the thing.
Hmm. I've tried polling my list before or getting like feedback and things, and I don't usually get responses. But I only have like 130 people on there anyway,
Yeah.
so it's a super
Yeah.
small pool.
I don't do it super often, but you never know. You could always do like a fun poll too. Like it doesn't always have to be just like ways to like get your list engaged in reading is helpful too. That's what I would start with. Other content questions. Usually, I mean, I do have content pillars, but usually I will brainstorm with chat based on what my end goal is. So, like, if my end goal is like a one-on-one intensive, then I would brainstorm with, like, okay, what are the key topics that are part of that? And then those are like my pillars for the month. So, I mean, we always talk about like systems and scaling offline and, like life first, but they might get a little deeper based on the thing that I'm talking about.
That's actually really helpful. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I feel like people get stuck on does this fit my content pillars? And it's like, well, sometimes it doesn't have to if you want to do something else. Do you know what I mean? To me, the most important thing is what am I working towards? Like all roads point to this thing, and then you work backwards for the month, and then you either keep it the same the next month or change it. Any other questions? Okay, the other question I got a couple of times in various ways was how to keep track of follow-ups and like sales. So like what does it look like from a process, like our process, and like how do I keep track of like what our sales are and how do I maybe stay motivated to do that? So again, it's not a fancy process, and I should have taken a screenshot and because I can't share the main one because it has people's names and notes in it. But let me see if I can do it really quick. If I go into ClickUp, I have a client leads tab. I might be able to. I'll just show you guys. Looks like this. It's actually, can you see my screen? It has actual names, so don't record this. Now you guys, the things went away. But I go in and I have like due dates and I have emails and I have notes and like if Katie's helping me. And so this shows up in my ClickUp based on follow-ups, right? So that is just like something that I have to pay attention to. The other thing that we do, so that's like manual follow-ups. And then the other thing that we have are automated follow-ups, and I'll show what that looks
Sorry,
like.
Holly, one question. How do you decide who gets the manual? Like how do you qualify to put them into that list versus other stuff?
Yeah, that's a great question. Let me show you. Man, Kit changed again too. Okay. So this is what I would call a automated follow-up. So we had a bunch of sales emails go out. Anyone that clicked on the link an hour later got 2 emails. Sometimes they get 1. We have these set up basically in every funnel, sometimes newsletters. Like anytime I share a link, I'm going to follow up with you with an email like, hey, I saw you looking at this. Or do you have any questions about XYZ? So you could do this for anything. So these are automated. If somebody responds and we have like a real life conversation, then I move them to the client list. So if somebody responds and we do like an audit or we're having a conversation, then I move them to this list. You can see there's lots of people in here. But the other nice thing is like if somebody pops back into our list and I'm like, oh, I swear I've talked to her before. I don't remember. Then I can like search and see like what she's done. Has Katie talked to her? What did we do an audit? Her audit's in there, and I can pay attention to it. So the automations, and this could be with like ManyChat, Kit, like how whatever your email subscribers are, like the automations are the piece that I would set up, and then I would think about, okay, what people are responding. Do they need to go in like a manual list? So I'm triggered to follow up manually at least once or twice a week because I have conversations that I've been having and I'm getting notifications and ClickUp. If you don't have ClickUp, I would just pick a day of like, okay, Thursdays, I'm going to do manual follow-ups. But then like if you're sending out a newsletter and you're putting your like one-on-one page or you're putting your like Kim, we were talking about following up if they click on a bundle or something, like send an email, even if it's like 2 days later, like, hey, I saw you checking out this pork bundle. Was curious if you had any questions on like what size makes sense for your family or something. Um, that's really helped us like a ton. And people respond. Like we sent one out, um, this one, are you really gonna walk away? And I got like a few responses of like, yes, I'm walking away now, but like I'm doing this instead. Or like, I really appreciate your emails. And so to me, those are people that I want to like pay attention to. Um, so that's kind of how we do our sales, I guess, if that makes sense. Have you guys set up any like follow-up automations? Anyone? Like to me, this is like I don't know, what do I call them? Like little profit pockets. Like anytime you share like a sales page or a checkout page, I mean, all the big businesses do it, right? How many times you click on like your Old Navy cart and then like 24 hours later you get like, are you still here? Are you still looking? This is still on sale. Or like if you're leading to like a one-on-one page, like set up a call with me. Like, hey, did you want to set up a call? I saw you looking at our calendar. Does a date not work for you? Or here's what happens on our call, because maybe they're like nervous to set it up. And so you're like walking them through what happens. So those are sort of the follow-ups that we have in place. And sometimes I have tons of follow-ups and sometimes I have none. So it just depends on what's happening. Questions about sales or follow-ups?
I think where I'm struggling, and I know that I have a very different business than like Kim and some other people, but is the cold aspect part. So like the especially because it's the cold start problem, what I call it, right? So I'm like new to business. I don't really have the referral engine built up yet. I don't really
Yep.
have like a strong list yet. And so part of what I'm trying to figure out are what are the like really meaningful 2 to 4 things I do every day or every week that
Yeah.
will move the needle. So I think that setting up automations is great. I don't really have that many checkout pages because I'm like high value, low numbers, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever you call it. I can't remember the term. But anyways, and so I think that's where I'm like, okay, do you just like DM LinkedIn? Do you like what are all the manual non-scalable things that you just have to do
Yeah.
every week
Yeah.
or
The
every
what I just
day?
showed you is more scalable.
Yeah.
I mean, manual, non-scalable, as Katie would say, would be like every Monday on LinkedIn, I'm going to send 10 introductions, and then every Friday, I'm going to check my messages. If I had to send introductions every day, I would like want to poke my eyes out. So I try to do it like, okay, I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes, and I'm going to go in and eat the frog, and then the rest of the week is just like following up on those conversations. So I'm not doing like do you know what I mean? Like it's easier for me to do it like 1 day or 2 days instead of, um, oh, okay, every day I'm going to do 5 people kind of thing. But it just depends how your brain works. If you want to wake up every morning and say, okay, I'm going to send five
No, I
messages.
hate LinkedIn. I hate
Yeah,
like all these things.
I do too. That's why I'm like, it's like poking my eyes out. I would much rather share like a value added post and like comment on other people's posts kind of thing. But I do know sending messages on LinkedIn is a thing and it is helpful. So I would pick one day of the week where I'm doing like 5 to 10. When I was doing like massive podcast pitches, that's what I would do. Like every Wednesday, I would be like, okay, I'm going to pitch 10 podcasts. All the emails and the follow-up and all of that happen like on the other days, but I would just have like one dedicated hour where I was just like in it, and today's the day and I'm just gonna go. Um, but doing it every day didn't work with my brain. I don't know if that helps, but hopefully. I know it's like what comes first, the chicken or the egg, which is hard. Um, any other questions around like sales, DMs, reach outs, things like that? Does this give you guys some ideas? Yes. Okay. All right. Those were the two big topics that I had. I have not read your weekly forms yet, so there might be more. Do we just want to do a roundtable and share what our focus is this week? That'd be helpful. Let's see. Bethany, do you want to go first? No? Okay. Chris, I see you next. You want to go first?
Sure. I have a client kickoff this week that I'm excited about, so that should be good. Um, and I am recording probably three podcast episodes. I have two interviews scheduled. So between now and next Tuesday, I have two record days, and I'm gonna bang out 8 episodes, you guys. It's gonna happen.
That's a lot. Honestly, that's the way to do it though. Just get it done. I do think the calendar that I showed you is really, really helpful. So you know like what episodes go live on what days. And then if you set it up with like Google or ClickUp or whatever, you can like put the assets in that calendar folder, which is nice. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
what
for me
what
right now, I think the content planning comes later. Right now, I'm really just on like launch planning. So like what
yep.
does it look like? What are the assets that I need? What are the interviews? What's the cross promotion? What's the emails I send people? Like that's kind of where I'm trying to just build up the assets. And then I think
Yeah.
once I get past this hump, then I have like stuff I could start to use for content repurposing.
Yeah, I just made a note. I'm gonna go back and find it was a private podcast, but I'll look and see if I have our specific launch plan for you.
You actually sent me the launch plan for the private podcast. It was really helpful that I already
Oh,
used. So
good.
I was just going to reuse that.
Yeah, yeah. Anytime you launch a podcast, it's kind of like launching a freebie, like or a paid product. Like you want to go back into um okay, how do I like prep people that it's coming? How do I get people excited about it? And then how do I get people to like share it? Those would be the three things that I would focus on. Let's see, Kim.
I was just sitting here thinking I have very unrealistic plans for this week. So I just was sitting here thinking, like, what can I defer? Um, so I shared last week I'm working on updating our pricing. So I did get a good bit of work done on that. And I think I am going to push it out a little bit so I have time to do some emails. So those will probably be next week, and the price changes effective like the beginning of April.
Okay.
So that's good. So I have a couple kind of administrative things to work on with that. And then the thing I did with ManyChat was I announced that we have beef shares available in June that are filling up. So that is kind of the focus. And then we've got a big cattle show this week for the boys. So the Ohio Beef Expo. So, and my college kid is coming home and we'll be doing all of that for about 4 days. So,
That's
if I,
fun.
yeah, so I think if I can just do the follow-ups on the beef shares, that'll be good. I can do the couple little things I need to do on the pricing. Um, those will both be good.
Yeah. I mean, I think one thing I learned when I was sick, it was like a good reminder, is like a week is not that long of a time frame. Like it really isn't. It's like there's like one, maybe two things that will get accomplished like at a high level. Um, so I think that's a good reminder. What support do you need?
I don't think anything. I think I just know what I have to do this week. I think once maybe I'm not going to mess with the mini chat thing at this point. I'm just probably going to wait and deal with that maybe next week to fix it going forward. So
Yeah.
I'll probably need help with that maybe when Katie gets back. So, but
Yeah.
not urgent.
Okay. Madeline.
Yes, so I'm working on following up with some other people that I've been talking to the last few weeks, and then doing the Instagram audits for the people from the retreats. So I'm trying to figure out like how to once I like send them the audit, I usually, write an email to go along with it. And so I definitely want to mention social media management, but maybe also like I give them the option to do templates as well, like a template pack. So if you have any advice or
Can you have them
anything
fill
on
out a
that.
form before you do
Mhm.
their audit?
Yeah, it's a quick form. It just has their website, their Instagram, and then like one thing that they struggle or like the thing that they struggle most with on social media.
I would maybe, well, have you already sent them the form?
Yeah, they did it while they were there.
Um, I would maybe add more to it of
Okay.
like, are you looking to outsource social media? Like in a dream world, are you looking to outsource
Okay.
social media? Like, what's your budget? Just so if someone says their budget's like $100, you're
Hmm.
gonna recommend something very different than if their budget is higher, right?
Right.
Um, so I like, are you gonna get on a call with them or are you gonna do a Loom video?
I send a Loom video with the audit. So basically, they get a Google Doc and then they get a Loom video of me kind of like going over the doc. And then like the email has both links as well as like my services guide.
Because I think what I'm struggling with is we have no idea what their
Yeah.
um like we know what their challenge is, but we have no idea like what their biggest pain points are. Like I'm getting ready to launch, I have no assets available or I have no time. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Um, I wonder if there was a way you could, I don't know. I want to see these convert, and I know they haven't maybe in the past. So I wonder if you could send them like a couple of follow-up questions and just say,
Okay.
I mean, because you met them at the retreat, like, hey, it was so nice meeting you. I have a couple more questions that I think will help me make recommendations for how to implement your next steps.
Like that.
Um, maybe if it's just like two or three. I mean, you could add in like some fun questions, so it's not just like what's your style? Is it like um colorful and like completely put together, or is it like I don't really care what my aesthetic looks like? Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not like, oh, we're just trying to figure out if you have a budget. Like you want to add in some other questions
I
because
like that.
then you might have a better sense of what they're looking for. Because that's
Okay.
really the key is like we want to know what their big pain point is. So then we can say, like, hey, I do full service social media management, but based on your response, I actually think these templates will help you. Why don't you go ahead and start with these and then I'll check in like 30 days or something like that.
Okay. I like that. That
I
sounds
just
good.
feel like it's like we're trying to mind read a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't
No,
know if
that
anyone
does
else
sound
has
good.
any thoughts, but I feel like if I know what the biggest challenge is, then it's easier for me to make a recommendation.
Hmm. I like that.
Um, cool. Okay. Bethany, yes, you can go next.
Okay, first, Kim. So my sweatshirt today.
Oh, I love that.
That's
Support your
awesome.
local dairy farmer. So, so after this, I'm heading out with Dr. Andrea to have a lunch to talk about collaboration. She's a pediatric dentist, and I've come up with like 5 different reels for us to do. And then I also have it's either going to be Wednesday or Thursday to work with a chiropractor in town to do 5 reels together as well. We're going to a
Oh,
coffee
that's
shop.
awesome.
Yeah. So
So
trying to
Thursday
work
is going to
on.
be good for you because Madeline's going to be sharing how to do video.
Yes, I know. So I was like, oh, this is so perfect when you said that. So I guess still like working on like the collabs, and then I've been working really hard on doing lots of blogs. And so I have a lot started, but I need to add in all of the like external links and linking them all like back to each other in there. So it's kind of what I'm working on.
Yeah. Where do you feel like you need support?
I actually sent you like the funnel for the pacifier guide
Okay.
to go through, and so I don't feel like I'm missing a step, but maybe missing a step because it goes quiz to website to thank you page to 4-sequence email, and then I added in other blog posts on my website, so it'll come back to my website. And then from there, the biggest question then I get is my kid's a mouth breather. And so then I think we need to talk about then selling into how to get rid of mouth breathing is one I get from parents all the time, and how to sleep better. So I always start with, do they have a or do they have a humidifier in their room and different things like that. So,
Okay. I can look at your
yeah.
funnel.
Okay.
That's exciting. I feel like we made big brainstorming progress last week for like big
Yes.
picture for you.
Yes. Which is good. So, yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Allison or Krista? I don't know if you guys are there. You want to
Here.
share?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm sort of all over the place this week. I'm a little scattered, but I have client work and then goals for Collier Travel is really just, yeah, to keep getting more travel clients. That's kind of the primary focus right now, and work on confirming the trips that I have in the works. And I need to get a newsletter out by the end of the week. And yeah, I think that's it.
How have the updated emails done?
The nurture sequence? Or just,
No, weren't you working on different types like newsletters?
yeah, I mean, I did a hand raiser. I got nothing. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I get about a 50% open rate and then a very low click rate.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's good or bad. I do kind of feel like I'm just, doing it to do it. I don't know how much traction I'm getting with it, but
Have you tracked your click rates over different email topics?
no, but I could go back and look. Flowdesk makes that pretty easy to do.
Yeah. One of the things I was asking in Slack, and I haven't answered all the messages, is to update your scorecard so that every month you can see like, okay, here was the topic of the newsletter and the click rate was this and the open rate was this. Because then we're not guessing. Because then we're like, okay, well, the hand raisers didn't work. But when I talk about XYZ, the open rate's higher and the click rate's higher. So then we know that those are topics that resonate more. Same
Well,
thing with social.
I can tell you that the topics that resonate are about destinations and it's like pretty pictures, destinations. Here are my favorite hotels, and they're clicking on those. They're clicking on the hotels and the
Yeah.
destination, clicking to book a call. So Katie suggested that I remove sort of all the other things on the newsletter and
Yeah.
just have book a call. But when I do that, they're just not engaging as much unless they're ready to travel or plan a trip,
Yeah.
then they're just not engaging as much. So I don't know which direction to head. I mean, but I do want them to be interesting and engaging. I mean, it's kind of, part of the fun of travel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, it might be your list too. I mean, I feel like that's one of the things that we sort of learned in antisocial school is I thought it's not that our list isn't strong, but they weren't super strong action takers this time around. So it's like, okay, you know, do I want to create something new? No. Okay, then I need to think about like, well, where are the right people hanging out?
mhm.
Um, because we're not seeing the results that we want on the email list.
Yeah. So what do I do about that? What do you do about that?
Well, I mean, I think you've got a good plan. I mean, your blog posts are, more of the long term, but you've got that in place. And then, I mean, I think you need to go get on podcast or go speak somewhere or think about like the scout guide that you're going to be in, or like similar to what Bethany was doing. Are there like other local businesses you could partner with, or is there like a hotel that you could partner with, or is there, do you know what I mean? Like we kind of got to think off the cuff of like what are some collaborations that will expose you to new audiences.
Yeah.
But it's a
Yeah.
good test.
I mean, I did meet with on a young woman where I live, and she's very nice, and she's been asking to get a lunch. So she works more travel incentive trips, like 290 people to Bora Bora. But she needs someone to refer because she'll have people on that trip or, executives that she's working with that, her to plan their other trips. And so she wants to be able to refer me. So she asked if I could do a call with her and her team. And so
Yeah.
that's an example of a partnership, an option, a refer. Um, it's hard to put up with. I don't know why I feel hard to me. It doesn't seem natural. But a good friend of mine just recently is going to work. Y'all, listen to this. She's going to work as a household manager.
You froze. A household what?
Company provides household manager.
Oh, that's amazing. Wait, is she frozen for you guys? Yes.
Yeah, video because I get.
I can't hear you.
Anyway, she's going to manage households people as she's part of a company, and so I'm going to reach out to her. I feel like we'd have similar clients.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely some brainstorming. I still want to see the data though, because it's like, okay, if we send out a newsletter and it only has one link and no one's clicking on it like one time, it is what it is. But if we do it once a month and it's the same, then we're like, okay, it's telling us that like maybe we need different people on our list. But then if we're sending information out about hotels or something and lots of people are clicking, then it's like, great, we know this is the information they want, but are they the people that are actually going to book the call kind of thing? So I think it's playing around and tracking the data. I'd also want to track like from your blogs. Can you see how many people are like coming to your website from a blog? Are they working? Do you know what I mean? Like, so the Google Analytics of that, like, and I know Laura, who's helping you, will do that, but those are things that I want to pay attention to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But those are two great partnerships. And honestly, like a partnership like that is one or two people, and then you're like in with the community that travels, you know what I mean? And then they refer you, and then it's like, I don't know, you get in with I'm totally making this up. It's like our neighbors are all on spring break because their kids go to Catholic school and they all use the same travel planner. And then you could see like they all like refer each other. So it's like you just need one to refer you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I
very
think you're
true.
doing the right
Allison,
thing.
one thing that worked recently where I live was they gave some kind of like free service at one of those private school auctions. And then she like got in, like you can auction for a service. And then that's how she got in. And then now they all use the same travel agent.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
So
that's actually a great idea.
I've had people approach me about auctions, but they want me to give away something that I don't have, which is, a free hotel stay or a villa in Greece for a week. I mean, that's not my product. I can't give away that. My product is myself,
Yeah.
is my service. So it's been complicated in that sense, but
I mean, I
And
still think that's a great thing to get. Because, like, that would be amazing to have somebody be like, I'm going to plan this trip. I get an hour with you to help me think it through or plan it or whatever.
Yeah.
yeah,
Or like, I don't know. I mean, this might be just like a different product line, but like pick my brain for an hour. Like you have so many, like it's not a I'm gonna plan your trip. It's like I don't know if I'm ready to hire a travel agent, but I want to go to Italy and can you just tell me all the things that you would do if you were, do you know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
and it's like I'm totally making this up. We're going way off track. $97 or something. I mean, don't charge that. But do you know what I mean? Like, so maybe it's something a
yeah.
little bit different to just be like, hey, if you aren't sure, like pick my brain for an hour. We won't actually, you don't actually have to like commit to using me, but I can at least answer questions for you and then you get compensated for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll look at your data. I know you sent me a bunch this afternoon.
No, I didn't send the right thing, but I can get it together. I
Yeah,
did
I
send
would, and
some.
also because you have so much content going out, like I would track it like detailed for 2 months of like, here's all the blog posts we wrote, here's what happened to them, here's the emails that we sent out, here's the open rates and the click rates. Because if we keep seeing the same thing, then it's like, okay, our email list is dead. Like we're only gonna send an email out once a month because no one's doing anything. Okay, let's spend our time somewhere else, kind of
That's
thing.
so sad.
It's an app, but it's good though, right? Like it's at least you know.
Okay. Okay. All right. Great, y'all. Thank you.
Krista, did you want to share? I know you're working out, which I love.
Well, I we have to leave in like 5 minutes, but I don't know I don't think I know what my like main focus is for this week. Maybe that's why I like woke up feeling anxious, hence the treadmill.
Yeah.
But I am pretty caught up on a lot of our client work and like because that's what I just poured into last week, trying to like get a bunch of that done and ready and then like off my plate because if it's lingering, then I can't really focus on my own business as well. I don't know. I feel like somebody's going to get sick or the basement's going to flood or some like stupid thing will happen that delays that. And so I always like to get like really far ahead on that. But then now I have like space, I think, and I don't know
Yeah.
exactly where to go with it.
You do know or you don't know?
I don't know exactly where I should like focus in because I've been like setting up some Claude stuff and I just kind of feel like I'm a little all over.
Yeah. Well, I think clearing the space was like our number one goal, so I feel like we should celebrate that for a minute. Like that's good, right?
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good start. And then I would actually, I think we talk, well, I know we have a call, I think tomorrow. We can talk about this some more. But I would think about if you weren't doing the work, what is the thing that you would want to create? So like, because we know that you have one-on-one clients and it's you doing the work. Is there something that's like half and half where you're giving them something and then they implement it, or you know what I mean? Like that's what I would brainstorm because that's how you're going to be able to scale because you're always going to be limited to how many, you
Yeah.
know, one-on-one clients you can do. Um, but I would brainstorm that.
Yeah. I feel like that's harder. The
It is,
brainstorming part is harder than the doing part because I have no idea what
yeah.
that would look like and how it
Well,
would
use
like
Claude. I mean,
shake
that sounds
out.
like it sounds like you were excited about using that because you used your time to do it, right? So like, can you go in and ask it and say like, this is what my current schedule looks like. Here's what I do. Like, what are some ideas that like come up? Like, is it done with you type things? Is it, I don't know, I have to go back to and look at your notes because I know you had some ideas, but maybe
Yeah.
spend an hour just brainstorming and see if anything comes up. Because a
Okay.
lot of
Yeah.
times
Like
we don't get, go ahead.
ideally I would have like something that's pretty just separate where people could like buy that and implement it and use it. And then there would be something where it's a little more hands-on or like reviews are included or something. And
Yeah.
then there's the one-to-one.
Yeah, and
I
maybe,
don't
I
know what people
mean,
are.
give yourself a minute to brainstorm. And we can brainstorm tomorrow too, but like one of the things that we're going to change with antisocial school is like how people access it. So it might be similar to this, but different. But like you can download the program and just do it yourself, and that's fine. And you can ask questions or whatever. Or you could download the program and then I'll review like up to 5 pieces of content. So I'll review your funnels, I'll review, and that's like different than, so it's like teaching them how to build something, maybe. Like I'm totally making this up, but maybe you teach them how to
Mhm.
build a funnel. And if they want to just do it themselves, like here's the assets, here's how you can do it, here's the steps I would take. Or the other version is you do it yourself and then there's like reviews in it that are like it's different. And so to me, that's like your signature program of like this sits in the middle. If you want me
Mhm.
to do it for you, it's up here. And but there's like different options of how to access you.
Yeah.
I feel
Awesome.
like
Yeah, I'll
this
have
is
to.
the exciting part though, because you haven't had time to like really brainstorm it. So maybe think of that
Yeah.
as like a positive.
Okay.
Yeah. I know you have moving and a lot of stuff coming up, so maybe it's just like, okay, this week is just like playing around with things. Like how would this feel or how would this feel? Um,
Yeah.
and sort of like
Yeah, I did
picking up.
get boxes packed this weekend, so that was a win.
Yeah. Like moving is a big deal. So that's why I'm like,
So
let's just
much.
celebrate this for a moment.
Yeah, that's my like evening and weekend job is the packing and the sorting and the
Yeah,
purging.
that's a big
Okay. Well,
job.
thank you. I have to run them to
Yeah,
school now.
totally. Any other questions for me that have come up? Anything? You guys feel good about this week? We do have Madeline on Thursday. She's going to talk about video and then she'll answer questions. Um, I think that's the only call this week. Yeah, so that's on Thursday at noon. Um,
Holly, before we go, I had a quick question. If there's time and if nobody else.
yeah.
So if I put like what I'm thinking of sending like to the attendees from the retreat, like if I put that in the chat, could you look at it really quick?
Yeah.
I was thinking of just doing it like as a voice message. Um,
Oh, we put it in the chat right now. I love it. Okay. What
yeah,
would we?
if that's okay.
Um, you could totally do a voice message. I think that'll at least give you, I mean, the goal is for right now, we just want people to open up
Hmm.
and share like what they're looking for. Um, yeah. No, I think that's great. And I think this is a good test because then the next time we can update your form so that when
Yeah,
you are sending them out, then we know like who you're talking to and like what their budget is and what they're doing.
that sounds good. Do you think it's too much at one time if I sent this in a voice message or like too pushy with the last question?
Um, the first one is fine. What's the main thing you'd love? What's your vibe? Like, I would just say like, do you care if it's polished and professional or it
Okay.
doesn't matter to you?
Okay.
Um, yeah, and I would just say I like that. Like in a dream world, do you want to keep doing social media yourself or are you looking to outsource some of it?
Okay.
I
I
mean, they
thought it
know what
was,
you do. It's not like you're
yeah,
just, you know what I mean?
I thought it
Yeah.
was a really good way to ask Madeline. Like it
Okay.
doesn't come off pushy at all, I don't think. I think
Okay.
No.
it's curious, like you're trying to figure out how you help them. I think that's what comes across.
You
Okay.
would even say
Perfect.
that at the beginning, like, I want to, the words just left my brain. As I go through your audit, I want to make sure I'm giving you something that's actually useful and helpful. So I have just a couple more questions,
Okay.
so that I can make sure to include this in your results, kind of
Okay.
thing.
I like that. Yay, that sounds perfect.
Also, you're doing something free for them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how
Yeah.
much
And
time are
there's
you
like a ton of
spending on
value.
this? Like, they can answer a question. If they're like, oh my God, I would love to, but like, there's no way I could do it. Okay, great. Then we're gonna like tell them about the templates. But if they're like, oh, I would love to, I just haven't found the right person, then, that's a different conversation.
That's true. That is true.
Um,
Yeah. And there's a ton of value like in the audits as well. I mean, they're getting a lot. So that's a good point.
yeah,
Okay. That makes me feel better
do
then.
it. Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else you guys can think of? Nope. All right. Well, it's Monday after what I would say is a weird weekend, so we're just gonna go for it. And if you guys have questions, drop it in Slack. I'll be going through your forms this afternoon. Yeah, have a good Monday.
Thanks, Holly.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.